your house with the Holy Spirit. You need to read the word and keep on it. And the reason is because if you cast that out, right, and then you stop, whatever, now your house is empty. Now the demon, it even warns about that in the Bible specifically. Now, when that demon comes back and finds the house vacant, now it's like they have a party. They invite other demons in, and like it's even worse than it was before. It's like you need to, it's like a practice, you know, 5 minutes a day, whatever, just even if it's only one verse, read the Bible verse of the day. The app will have verse of the day, and you can set the time. You know, you need your daily bread. I'm seriously, man, I'm telling you. That little bit of, it's like, you know, they're feeding off that negative energy. Like, think about like I don't know, like an energy vampire that wants you feeling bad because that's how they like empower themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's
remember
like, remember the what?
The centipede.
The centipede. I don't want to get into that with him. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I'm telling you, man. And that's why I keep trying to tell Mom, like, she needs to stop praying to that fucking shit. She's praying to demons. She don't know it. And that's why they're so oppressed. Because they're feeding fucking demons. Bro, I'm telling you, I had this Chinese centipede demon. I didn't even know that was a thing in Chinese folklore until Kayla found that shit and looked it up and said, oh yeah, the centipede demons or whatever the fucking Japanese and Chinese folklore, that's real shit. I had a fucking, you know, some people want to say I was dreaming or whatever. Okay, you're welcome to think that, but I literally woke up in the middle of the night. So, you know, some people might think I woke up in my dream, but like literally a fucking giant centipede ass demon. I went to the bathroom. This giant centipede demon motherfucking shit was coming out of my chest like a black shadow centipede, whatever. And I'm burping and farting. And I was like doing a number 4, bro. Like, have you ever been so drunk where you turn around and shit, and you turn around and puke, and you turn around and shit? I was doing that, but farting and burping in the bathroom, and I was so bad. I was like, I didn't know what was going on. And I swear, Jesus had his hand on my shoulder like it's all gonna be okay, and pulled all of that shit out of me, man. And I was like fucking horrible. And I finally laid down. And remember when I told you the story about the ghost being in my car? Like, this was like fucking when I was like 24, 25, when all of this shit happened. Because, you know, like from 17 to like 23, I was like an atheist, man. Church did me so wrong and so bad. Like fuck, all the Catholic bullshit. But like, I was like atheist. I didn't even believe in God. And till I had that medicine man and I was meditating with them, whatever, and I had that spiritual experience where I couldn't ignore God anymore. But that's when I was like open, right? And I didn't have the protection of Jesus. And, you know, I'm at the mercy of all that demonic shit. Like, because you remember when Thursday was my only night off where I didn't work the hospital? And I used to, you know, watch TV with Dad all night or whatever, and then that one night I had to drive home, and I was like, you know, I gotta go home or whatever. And I'm driving in the car, and all the lights shut down, and I felt like this glaring fucking look in the back of my head, like someone's in my back seat, just burnt. You know, you ever feel like somebody's looking at you in the classroom, and you turn and look, and somebody's fucking looking at you, like that feeling. And I was like, damn, I know I shouldn't look because I feel like it would know that I know. And like, I couldn't help it. I fucking looked in the rearview mirror. Now, I didn't see anything in the back seat, but the moment I did, like, I just felt this overwhelming, like, I even got goosebumps right now, fucking just thinking about it. I'm like, and it's so cold. And I can see my fucking breath. And we live in Florida, bro. I fucking see my breath, and I'm turning up the heat, and I'm freezing. And I'm like, holy shit, I fucking think there's a ghost in my car. And I'm like, you know, fucking, and I hear like this. It's not like with your ear, man. It's in your head, man. And I remember seeing like my car going into the canal or whatever, like it was trying to make me crash. Like, if I wasn't like stronger, if I was more freaked out about it, like I probably would have crashed, you know, like did it or whatever. But I remember, you know, going over that thing, you know, by not Chiquita, but that little canal is when you turn in Chiquita. And that's when I called Dad when I was driving down Chiquita, like, damn, I think there's a fucking ghost in my car. And he told me, oh, you should pray or whatever. And I'm telling you, and that night, like, I stopped in our driveway, and I was like, you know, and I was told it, like, you know, whatever you are, whatever, you know, you can't come in my house. You're not allowed in my house. And it like floated off and it like broke like a piece of like, imagine a black, if my heart was like a white ball, a black splinter, like was fucking in my heart, like it was like, I felt like spider webs, like black spider webs. I don't know how to explain it. And ever since then, you won't even remember that night. It was like 2 weeks later, I remember having this dream that me and you were kids in the swimming pool. And we were fighting like in the swimming pool in New York. And I got hit in the kidney so hard, it woke me up. I was like, what the fuck? That was weird. So I tried to turn over and like ignore it and go back to sleep. And all of a sudden I felt boom, like this big ass shake. It freaked me out. Like at first, I thought it was my gun went behind a headboard because I used to sleep with the gun under my pillow. And I looked, it was right there, like it didn't fall under the headboard or whatever. I was like, what the fuck? That was weird. So I turned back around and tried to ignore it and go back to sleep. And it felt like my whole bed got picked up and dropped. Boom! Like, and I was like, holy shit. And I'll never forget, it was the first time in my life where I saw fucking something clear as day. And I'll never forget, it looked like Mom. But like black, wet hair, like the rain covering her face. I couldn't see the face. And she had that white shirt with the mirrors. Remember the mirrors on the shirt? And I was telling Mom about that shirt. She's like, I haven't had that shirt in like 15 years. And I'm like, yeah. And it pointed at me and it had like gray, purpley skin, like, you know. Because I was thinking, like, should I be praying? And the moment I thought, should I pray? It said, he can't help you. You know, but he can because he knows Jesus is the only one that can. At the time, I wasn't registering any of this because I didn't have the fucking understanding I have now. And it scared the shit out of me. I thought there was somebody physically in the house fucking with us. I grabbed the gun, I turned around, it was gone. I flipped on all the lights in the house. I was looking for somebody fucking with me. I thought somebody broke into the house or something. I legit, all the clocks were blinking, like, you know, I was like in the Twilight Zone. And I went into your room and I fucking slapped you in the face. Andy, wake up. You would not fucking wake up. I was like, Andy, wake up. Like, you would not wake up, bro. You were dead ass asleep. And I slapped you hard, like 3 times. And I was like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And anyway, I went all around the house with all the lights on, couldn't find shit. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to turn the thing, shut it down, go to sleep. That shit freaked me out. And then remember, with Kat, when I went up to fucking Tennessee, and we were in this apartment that she was, you know, going to school for mortuary, John Gupton or whatever. Yeah. And I was crying about this girl, like, you know, crying blood or whatever the fuck. And I was having horrible nightmares. And I told her about it. You know, a girl is like tall, whatever, and, you know, blonde hair, this, that, and the other. She's like, oh my God. She's like, she didn't want to believe me at first. But she was like, we just embalmed a little girl, like exactly how you were saying. I'm like, yeah, I think she's lost. I was like, go to the light or whatever. And as soon as I said that, I felt it like leave. I was like, holy shit. And like a couple weeks later, there's this dude, like I kept getting, you know, dreaming about this dude in a train conductor outfit, tipping his hat. And I'm like, look, I don't know what the hell, like, I just got to tell you, there's this guy, you know, I give her, like, he brown hair, whatever, he had this train conductor outfit, and he's tipping his hat. She's like, holy crap, we had this, like, 17-year-old kid who jumped in front of a train and killed himself, and, you know, the family wanted an open casket, but they had, you know, baseball-style stitches in his head. She's like, I put a hat on his head to cover the stitching. Oh, he's trying to thank you for the hat, you know? And, you know, there was other ones, like this one dude that was like, you know, making it rain. He had glasses and a blazer or whatever, and he was like bitching and complaining about this woman spending his money, and he was making it rain, but it was with checks, not with, like, cash to show that it was big money. She's like, I don't know what you want me to do with this. He's like, I know who you're talking about. And the woman said a really weird thing. It was like, oh, we can't spend the money fast enough or some shit. She's like, who the fuck says that? Like, you know, at a funeral. Anyway, so, and she didn't want to believe me because I told her, like, the whole side of her apartment, I didn't like it. I was like, dude, when she went to go retrieve bodies, it was like 3, 4 in the morning sometimes. I'd have to turn all the lights on, I'd get the heebie-jeebies. She's like, there's nothing back there. Maybe because they parked their hearse back there or something like this and that and the other. And she was like looking for reasons to not believe anything I said. And I'll never forget, I had to get a drug test for DeVita where I had to go pee in a cup or whatever at Quest. And she drove me, she's like, let's go back that other road. I want to show you that there's nothing back there. And we drove that other road, there was a fucking crematorium back there, bro. And Anyway, long story short, like I had all of these, quote unquote spiritual experiences and things that were happening to me, and like back to the centipede thing because of praying in them fucking Taoist beads and all of that shit Mom was making me do every fucking day, walking at 2 miles and 88 beads, to fall gel, whatever, and because that was the one thing that night. That centipede with yellow eyes or whatever, was in the middle of the night telling me, oh, I didn't have to feel that way anymore. It would, take away the feelings or whatever. And I didn't know at the time, like, I was making a pact with a demon, thinking that, it was neutral because my eyes are yellow and not red or some shit. Like, that actually fucking makes a difference. Like, me not knowing. But anyway, fast forward to, like, literally like a month ago, or maybe, this thing was coming out of me. And I'm fucking, and like, it went from being like a little, like, tiny, like, fucking centipede to being this big ass, filled the whole room, like pulling out a tapeworm, bro. Like, cause it was like feeding off. Anyway, and I'm puking, like, not puking, but I'm burping and I'm farting and like being like a number 4. And finally, it's all out. And I'm like laying in my bed. And I'm like, I'm drained like I've never been. And I'm telling you, Jesus had his hand on my shoulder. Or whatever, the whole time, and then he plucked, and it had been like 10 years, bro. That black splinter in my heart that I told you since the very first time I had any of these experiences with demons and whatever the fuck you want to call them, he pulled it out and said it's like a mustard seed and crushed that shit. And I was like, delivered. I'm telling you, my whole life is different once I got to know Jesus and say that he's my Lord and Savior, and having this horrible nightmare about being in the darkness or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. In a real dark, bad place or whatever, and it was just nothing but black. And I just remember getting on my knees and praying to Jesus and just. That he would help, at first I wasn't even praying for myself. That's that Catholic guilt. Like, I feel like I can't pray for myself, because that's how they always treat you. Like, oh, you feel ashamed. Praying for yourself is selfish, whatever. No, man, it's not. Like, that's the problem with the Catholic shit. Anyway, so, first I was praying for the family and, this, that, and the other. And that, Jesus reveals himself to you guys that, he works in your lives and this, that, and the other. And then I said, and hopefully reveal yourself to me, because I was even starting to doubt whether that really happened or not, or if it was just a dream. Should I write it off? And I'll never forget, in all his glory, this white light, beautiful, I never felt so warm and so loving and so nice. And he reached and he grabbed my shoulder to let me know it was okay. And and I'm like, and I knew it was fucking him, man. I fucking knew it. And I knew it. And I'm telling you, man. Fucking Jesus is real. Jesus is fucking real. I saw him. And I'm telling you, man, you need to read that Bible because there's not a lot of time left. I'm telling you. Real shit. It's easy to talk about this shit because half of the people look at me like I have 5 heads when I talk about this. But I'm telling you, it's real. It's real. Read that Bible. Get to know Jesus and have a relationship with him. Just, pray and ask. Be like, look, you know how my life is? And the word they use, the actual Hebrew word, I can't pronounce it or whatever. When they say, it's literally to dump out your heart, to God. That's how we should be praying. You don't have to feel some kind of way about what the right way to pray, this, that, and the other. You just lay it all out to God, man. You just, I'm having a hard time, this, that, and the other. Just, he knows the heart. Dude, yeah. Literally, just invite him into your life. Be like, I want to have a relationship with you. Have that kind of prayer. I'm telling you, your life will change dramatically. Dramatically. I'm telling you, man. My life has been so much better. And it ain't easy. And I know Mom and Dad love to play that guilt trip. And Dad will always be reciting that, honor thy mother and thy father. And because he uses the Bible as a control mechanism, because he was taught that. He doesn't really have the right way to think about it, because he's taught that same thing, and I hope that he can have a relationship like that too, and You know, because Jesus also said, he who loves mother or father more than me is not worthy of me. You know, because when Kayla told me, we need to, cut this negativity out of our lives. I don't want that for Mikey. And I'm like, I agree. I don't want him to have to go through any of that. You know, I don't want drugs around him. I don't want like negativity and all of that stuff. Like if we can't be like a happy family, I don't need that negativity in his life. No, I'm not. I'm raising him different. You know, I want him to have a good, safe environment. You know, so that's number one. You know, and they want to keep trying to make me feel bad and feel guilty. You know, that's the enemy. I know it's not them because they're oppressed. They have, the demons are oppressing them really bad, especially with mom empowering them by praying to idols and praying to them, the false, they're demons. You know, they might pretend to be like light or whatever, but they're not. You know, because even Satan can pretend to be an angel of light. You know, but. Yeah, man. That's why I'm telling you. Read that Bible. It's real.